28 meters, 30F. My GF is having a hard time since she found out her ex is getting married. I have been dating my GF for about 8 months now, and things are going well for the most time. We normally meet once for dinner during the weekdays and then spend the weekend together. But the last time I saw my GF was 2 weeks ago, and since then my GF has not wanted to see me because she needs some space. The reason she needs the space is because she was hit really hard by the news of her ex getting married. She dated her for 9 years, from the age of 18 to 27. From what she has told me, they broke up because they were not on the same page about the future of the relationship. My GF wanted to get married and he never wanted to get married. So eventually they broke up. It's almost been 4 years since they broke up. I never even suspected my GF might still be having feelings for him. But after watching her strong reaction to his marriage, I can't be so sure of that. The guy is getting married to someone he has dated for less than a year. And yes, it's weird, but I don't think it really deserves that much of a reaction. Unless she is still in love with him. I am at a loss on how to proceed. Reddit. Any advice will be appreciated. Edit, update. I have decided to break up with her, but I will wait 2 more weeks before telling her. Hopefully she will be in a better headspace by then. It's like that scene in The Good Place when Eleanor sees that her mom is making real efforts to be a good mom to her new stepdaughter. She has a hard time seeing that her mom has changed for the better and is actively trying to be a better mom and partner. https u2.be/1sbmbeepw t = 90. Michael. Come on, Eleanor. I changed. You changed. Maybe she changed, too. Eleanor Shellstrop. No. No way. Michael. Why can't you accept that she might be living a good, honest life? That she's an attentive partner and a good mom? Eleanor Shellstrop. Because I wanted that mom. I wanted the mom who made me afternoon snacks instead of just telling me to look for loose fries in the McDonald's ball pit. Why does Patricia get that mom? If Donna Shellstrop has truly changed, then that means she was always capable of change. But I just wasn't worth changing for. Even with all the healing and moving on in the world, it is absolutely shattering to realize, or come to the conclusion, that the person you spent years loving and gave up on was, in fact, capable of changing for the better, but did not want to change for you. It's a lot to emotionally process. Obviously the situation isn't exactly the same, but the feelings are very similar. It's one thing to heal from the past and move on when the person who hurt you is always going to be that way and I did nothing wrong, and it's another thing to then learn that the person in question has changed for the better, but did not see you as valuable enough to become better for you. I swear this was already posted a month or so ago. Almost the exact wording. I mean, I get her perspective. My ex of 7 years cheated on me. When I found out and broke up with him, I was immediately relieved. I realized that I didn't want to be with him and this was the excuse I needed to leave. So I do not miss him at all. However, he got engaged to his affair partner less than a year later. It freaking hurt. I wasn't mourning him, but the fact that I wasted 7 years of my life with him. So I understand what she's going through. What I don't understand is her needing space for 2 weeks, as that seems like a long time. If your girlfriend is anything like me, she may need her space but also need reassurance that you like her and want to be with her. Have you reached out to her? Don't press her to see you if she doesn't want to, but maybe reach out and let her know how much she means to you and that you are here when she is ready. But yeah, as you said in another comment, 10 more days is probably the most I would wait before taking further action, because at that point, it's disrespectful to you. Her reaction has nothing to do with you. She wasted 9 years of her life on this guy who didn't want to get married, and now he has married someone else after only knowing them a year. You can imagine she probably feels inadequate in some way. It's the Harry and Sally moment. And yes, I'm dating myself here. She spent 10 years with her ex and they parted ways because she wanted marriage and he didn't. So the breakup in her mind was mourned as we wanted different things. But when he gets married, she can no longer put that breakup in the we wanted different things bucket, but that he wasn't against marriage. He was against marrying her. It makes it more personal. So she now is dealing with a whole range of emotions. She doesn't want him back, doesn't still love him, but is hurt because she feels something is wrong with her now. Saying all of that, I'm not sure if I could jump back into a relationship with someone who stopped talking to me because they needed to mourn like this. It would irrationally make me feel like second place. And depending on how serious the relationship is, I might choose to part ways. She clearly has some stuff to work through. So you have to decide if you are good with waiting to see or if you prefer to just cut your losses. We can't answer that for you. 8 months into dating my now husband, we were serious, so I would have waited to have a discussion, but other people, nope. There can be various reasons for her behavior. Feeling inadequate to her ex's going to be wife. She still has feelings for her ex. Jealousy, etc. The only way to find out is talk. However, you don't have to wait forever for that. Set up a time for yourself and see if she's ready to talk within that time, and if she starts talking, then is she behaving differently? Based on that, you can decide the future course of action for your relationship. You're dating her for only 8 months. You don't have to invest more time or your feelings aren't being reciprocated, and if she's still hung on her ex. 2 ways you can look at it. She either A, still has feelings for him, or B, is questioning her own self-worth since she thinks herself as unworthy. If it is A, leave. If it is B, remind her not everyone will be able to appreciate her value. IDK man. Obviously it's normal to have a reaction to that. But to completely have to ghost you is extreme. Personally, if your ex has that much power over you, I wouldn't want to be with you. That's just me though. I have absolutely no feelings for my ex anymore. But when he got married, a part of me felt funny. I'm not sure how to describe it. I wasn't jealous, but I was immediately hit with a wave of memories. It was an odd reaction for me, especially given that I broke up with him and was even the first of either of us to get married. I didn't, however, push my husband away, and I didn't need space. 4 years still getting emotional on your ex? Your GF has acted quite selfishly here, even if she didn't intend to. And I totally understand your thoughts and decision to break up. Too many of the commenters are missing this being a relationship only 8 months in. The GF made it pretty clear she hasn't moved on, and Op feels slighted. Which I know I would as well. If she literally mourned for weeks, she needs therapy. If she just ignored Op for 2 weeks, that's the end of the relationship. Unless you want to be regularly emotionally ignored and steamrolled. Very problematic either way. She should have mourned in private. Why is she telling him in the first place? I am OP's age and I don't know of anyone who would think it a good idea to dump their past relationship issues onto their current partner. Especially since they include her basically admitting she wanted to and probably still wants to marry the ex. Immature and a sign that the GF doesn't really see you as a priority. Spending 2 weeks away from you is incredibly extreme when this is the reason. Seems like she would leave at a drop of a hat if he contacted her. What self-respecting person stays in a relationship like that? Reddit is very skewed progressive. Most men your age would do the exact same as you. Being one myself. Not that it's even a man, masculinity thing. Your GF showed a basic lack of respect, and since the relationship isn't that old and she has just made it clear her level of commitment, i.e. not very high, I don't know why you would continue the relationship. I know when I was still in mourning my first relationship, the last thing I needed was to get into another relationship. Your GF probably needs therapy, not another long-term relationship. Clearly she hasn't and isn't healthily processing, moving on. Understandably, a lot of people are being sympathetic of the GF. But if you look at it from OP's perspective, he is really doing what's best for himself. He is best to move and she is probably best to get some mental health support. But the comments making all these stupid assumptions about OP so they can twist the narrative into one where the GF is an innocent victim is cringy. But unfortunately pretty par for the course. Give her all the space she needs. As in, break up with her. This doesn't bode well. There was a post last year about a guy that dated a girl for 10 years or more and broke up with her because she didn't want kids and he wanted a family. He ran into her at a party a couple years later and she was pregnant and engaged. He had a full-on meltdown at the party. You can bet his GF at the time was having trouble understanding everything that was going on. It's normal to mourn a relationship, but needing space for 2 weeks or more, it looks like after the relationship ended 4 years ago, going into another realm completely. I would definitely be questioning the relationship. I've been with my wife 40 years and we never needed space to work on anything. We were there every step to help each other through any rough spots. I'd call her and get a straight answer from her on where you are in the relationship. If it's an evasive answer, move on. You only have 8 months invested. If he had been willing to marry her, she would be with him right now, not you. She's just been reminded of this again and is mourning that fact. She's not over him. Not after 2 weeks of radio silence. And she absolutely should be the one reaching out to you given the circumstances. You're only 8 months in, and with this reaction I just would not be willing to continue on in this relationship myself. I think you should probably skip the waiting period and just call it quits with her now. She needs to work on herself more and get over her ex, and you need to be someone's plan and not plan B. Ignore the haters here. Your feelings absolutely matter here too, and you're 100% justified in feeling the way you feel. Start your own healing and get back out there when you're ready. I love how the partner being shunned is the one who is supposed to be the paragon of emotional maturity and understand that this isn't about him. Yet there is no expectation of any adult emotional regulation for the one upset about a long ago ex. To understand the new marriage has nothing to do with her either. Not only that, then the shunned partner apparently is also responsible to respect the request for space, but somehow also maintain enough contact to keep the relationship alive for whenever the mourning partner decides to act like an adult again after 2 weeks have already passed. Unreal. I wouldn't break up with her over her feeling inadequate. I would probably break up with after seeing that her consideration for your feelings are basically non-existent. I would imagine if the tables were turned, she would probably feel the same way you do. So her actions are unacceptable. All the advice to talk to her, but how do you do this when she wants to have space, be left alone? You have made a decision, stick to it. This situation may or may not be indicative of her feelings, but by pushing you away for an undisclosed length of time, that is the impression she is giving you. You can only work from her lead, and it is currently that she is devastated and non-communicative with you over her ex of nearly 5 years getting married. It is unreasonable to expect your relationship to be put on pause for anything longer than a couple of days while she sorts her thoughts out. It is totally reasonable to think she is still in love with him. B. Unhappy because she thought she would get the happy ending, him realizing his error and sweeping her away to get married, and C. working out what to do as you were a placeholder that is now unwanted. She needs to be communicating, reassuring, and making sure you know how important you are to her. She has failed epically at all. 3. Good luck op, and remember, this is how she deals with problems, possibly the most unhealthy way to do. So you are not part of her team but someone to be avoided. Tough pill to swallow. This comment section is making me question if people have vastly different definitions of what moving on means. Maybe his priorities changed. Maybe the new girl is forcing him. Or maybe, yeah, he just didn't want to marry her. But if your self-worth is so deeply shattered by an ex's choices, isn't that the definition of not having moved on? Honestly, if I were you, I would give her the space she needs to process the idea that her ex just didn't want her, and accept that she's going through a lot at the moment. However, you and her are supposed to be dating seriously, and she's openly disregarding you over the feelings she should have worked through before dating again, which is a huge red flag. I would take a step back from the relationship if I were you, because it's clear she has not moved on. And before you officially get back together, you should make a list of questions for her regarding this issue that you're concerned about in continuing the relationship you're in. And this issue, everyone deserves a partner that is focused on the love they have for one another while growing together. If someone is focused on a previous relationship, then they're really not thinking about you at all, besides being a placeholder for the person they want to be with, which is extremely unfair to you. You need to think about what is the best thing to do for yourself. Ask the hard questions that need to be asked, and make a realistic decision based on the facts. And the facts are that you've been dating her for 8 months, but she hasn't been dating you the past 8 months because she is still focused on her ex.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.